I want to make sure when I'm on the stage, you know you're talking to Caleb. You're watching Caleb, the Negro artist, be himself, nothing other than the truth. I'm Caleb, the Negro artist Rainey. I'm from Columbia, Missouri. I'm a local poet, event producer, and teacher. It gets really hard to not be everywhere in a poem because race is in everything. Love, the two things I write about the most, love and race, they're in everything. And so it's so hard to not veer over here and veer over there when you have all of these other ideas connected to it. But if you can stay really focused, that's where the power is. And I have to remind myself that. When I came to the University of Iowa, I was one of 57 first-year Black male students who was not an athlete. And so, that being said, I felt very alone. So Iowa City's impacted me a lot because what ended up happening is then I continued to make my own space. And so now I make events where people get to share spoken word pieces, which is super hard to find, or was super hard to find. And that has been really exciting, and it's made me grow in a way of being way more community oriented than I thought I was gonna be. Because I actually expected to come to Iowa City as a writer and kind of take. I was gonna be a writer and I was gonna get to just take in all of this writing, and what ended up happening is I got here and I said, let me be active and let me write but also connect. And by connecting, I'm coming up with new stories and new material and new things that matter to me that I didn't know mattered to me until I was connecting with more people. And so it's changed my writing and then changed how I spend my time. My stage name definitely came from Langston Hughes. He wrote an essay called The Negro Artist in the Racial Mountain. And when I decided I wanted to write, which was around 7th grade, I was dealing with a lot of issues about race and who I was as a person because my mother is white and my dad is Black, so I'm actually biracial, and I'm trying to decide what it meant to want to be an artist, but also people going, Caleb, you're Black, that's the most important thing about you. And as much as I am constantly filtering my thoughts through this racial lens, I'm trying to figure out what that meant to be an artist, when sometimes I just want to write about love. Does that mean it has to be Black love? What does that mean? And so Langston Hughes' essay, The Negro Artist in the Racial Mountain, talks about that completely and explicitly states hey, you're going to be a Black artist. But Langston Hughes goes into this idea of how beautiful it is to be a Black artist, how there's a wealth of experiences and stories and themes that some people can't touch. And there's a lot of beauty and nuance in there. And so it's to just accept that and to appreciate that. And a good artist is honest about who they are and the experiences they live. So for me to try to be an artist and try only to be an artist, don't call me a Black artist, would be actually counterintuitive to the idea of being an artist. Not everyone's happy with my stage name. It is fascinating. For Black people, they're like, dude, don't, come on. Because even in the Black community, there's a little bit of an anti-Blackness, this idea of don't. We're all supposed to be trying to not be Black. So why are you gonna go up there and just say you're Black and then talk about our business, all of this kind of stuff? It gets tricky. For white people, it just kind of makes them uncomfortable. There are a lot of white people that don't have to acknowledge race at all, or at least explicitly do so. But if you're gonna call me by my name, if you're gonna say the Negro artist, you immediately have to determine how you feel about race and how comfortable you are with saying the word Negro, which is eerily close to other words and also dated, right? I understand that no one really says Negro anymore, but it also harks back to this time in which Negro was the phrase we were using versus colored and all of these other things. And as a white person, you have to all of a sudden come to terms with that, right? And you have to decide what that means and what you're gonna say and how comfortable you're gonna be with the fact that I'm Black and you see that I'm Black, but you still may feel uncomfortable saying that. To the white person that doesn't think race is in everything, I would tell them to listen. In 2018, now, where we are, there are plenty of people telling you the truth. I can't say that in all the other generations that was true. It was really easy to be in your bubble and not have a way out of it. But now, your job to know you're in a bubble and to work your way out of it because all of the resources are there. And I'll tell you, most of us want you out of your bubble. We're not saying that you are the enemy. We're saying that we need your help and that you need to be more than just passively not racist, but you have to be anti-racist. And that means being conscious and thinking about it more often than you want to, more often than comfortable, because I can't afford to go a day without thinking about it.
See, you love my culture, but only for its entertainment. You've got to play ball, and the future is another form of unlawful detainment. And when I say Black Lives Matter, you feel a need to respond, all lives matter. Perpetuating the national con so the veil of violence isn't shattered. See, with every word you whip out, I'm wounded to my core, overwhelmed with doubt. Bulletproof vests don't work anymore. Here's a fact. My birthday suit, I'm black. Please don't shoot. Your silence is like a bullet, burrowing beneath skin and burning through bone, because I was looking for kin. I can't win this fight on my own, but I sounded too black. My burden so much bigger that you couldn't have my back or blame the one behind the trigger. And when I ask you to speak out against racist chants, I want you to shout, I want you to take a chance. But you keep your mouth closed, because you know how easy friends can turn foes and privilege can become woes. See, your silence shoots my soul. And there are lives to save, and you have the control. But like God turning his face away when Christ was forsaken, you leave me there, hanging, stark naked. Here's a fact. My birthday suit in black. Please don't shoot. Thank you. Yeah.